Hello and welcome to Africa and Beyond Television Network, and we continue to take a look on what's happening in the nation of Zimbabwe. And there is something very important which we need to take a look upon. There is somebody called Tafadzwa Bambaninga, and this person is actually bringing hot files. And I'm bringing these stories because there is a confirmation which I received in the past few days. I've been busy, but I got the confirmation that yes, indeed, these things are really happening within the systems of Zimbabwe. So we are going to deal with this issue based on that. So Tafadzwa raises a very important issue, and this is a very, very long thread which you need to deal with because it carries a lot, and it is going to give you insight in terms of what is really happening. So what is very important is to note that as we have been saying, the CIO has been run with parallel structures. Emerson has maximized and mastered the issue of running parallel structures. If you go to ZANU-PF, there is ZANU-PF, the party. You then bring FAZ as a parallel structure to ZANU-PF. And that parallel structure is given more power and is well-oiled. He has created other parallel structures, women for ED, Chakat for ED, Chakat for ED again, which means if you go to ZANU-PF, there are 3 parallel structures which are running concurrently within ZANU-PF for EDs, FAZ, and then ZANU-PF, the party. So we will not talk about another parallel structure of Zigananda again, which is the 4th to be there. But let us deal with this very important issue because there are parallel structures within the CIO. And here is the story. What is happening is there is somebody called Rumbidzai Rusere who is believed to be, I think she's a deputy director within the CIO in charge of something. I'm not so sure. But this person is the person who is now more powerful. Remember, the other director general, the deputy, was removed and posted to the military, who was running another parallel structure called FAS. So this one is now in charge, or has been in charge, but now she is now known to the public because of the exposés which are happening. So this person is being accused of running operations without the knowledge of the director general of the CIO, Fountain Mangwanya. Remember, Fountain was brought in to replace Isaac Moy, who was believed that he was now an obstacle to the 2030 agenda itself because they wanted to do things differently. They felt that the direction and the way everything was being handled was wrong. Remember, all these things are happening within the CIO, and they're actually happening without the knowledge of the director general. That is what was happening to Isaac Moy, that some of the things would happen and he won't even know about those things, or he will be the last one to know about those things, simply because there are people under him who are not doing their job according to what must be happening. So this one is accused of running something which is different, is running a parallel structure, and they say that they've had a relationship since Emerson was the state security minister back then. So there is an audio. I think I'm going to play that audio towards the end of this video. So you have to stay tuned because that audio is very important. It will give you insight of what is really happening. So number 1, number 2, we've dealt with them. Let us go on to number 3. This lady is accused of running operations not sanctioned by the DG and has taken a lot of state money to run her operations and is being funded Nezigananda, including Panakuda. So at this point in time, she has been tasked to look for Comrade Geza. And we will come also to talk about how Walter Mzembe is robbed in everything which is happening at this point in time. So a lot of money was drawn to pursue Comrade Geza, and this is being done behind the back of the CIO Director General. So Rusere, as it has been said, she was bought a house worth $500,000 US by number 1, and it was then renovated to the tune of 1 million, and she doesn't drive official car from the CIO. She does have a Land Cruiser 300 series, which a lot of people will be asking to say, okay, a mere CIO deputy director would drive such a nice car, big car. How? Where is she getting the money? So she does have a range of cars, Maybachs, Range Rovers, whatsoever. She does have properties in Centon, Randburg, in Dubai, Singapore, and we are being told right here that she does have a lot of money. Why? It's because she is being handled by the Kudas, by the Chivayos, so that they run or she runs their operations properly. So, this then brings us to the issue of Kuda saying, I have money, I can do everything I want. And it seems as if it's true. So she's being accused also of ordering the abduction of Godwin Gomwe's 72-year-old mother. And this was done without the knowledge of Auton Mangwanya. And when the Director General, Mangwanya, approached ED, or number one, for explanation, he was told that not everything happens must be known by the DG, which means there are certain things which the DG is not supposed to even know, which will be happening within the CIO, which means you'll be simply there as a face, but you won't be responsible for some of the operations. So this has been happening with Isaac. We are seeing it happening with Fautu. That is the game. And who is actually commandeering everything? This is the Rumbidzai. She's actually doing everything. And she's actually accused of deploying state security agents to all Ugandandas. So Delish are being told that you now have security from the CIO. And we are being told right here that Nguya's wife is also driven by a CIO at this expense of our money. So there are state security agents, Kunakuda. That is the reason why he boasts of doing anything, because he has money. And also, we are being told that there are also operatives providing security to Wicknell. So, in turn, Ugananda, they're providing money for Rusere's unsanctioned intelligence operations. So, this is what is happening. And we have to ask a lot of questions to say, what is really happening within Zimbabwe? Why all this? Why is it that you are running parallel structures, putting the national security in jeopardy like that? So there are people who are using executive powers, but they're not supposed to be doing that. They will be using their relationships with the top or with the powers that be to run whatever which they want. So we are being told that Rusere was also instrumental in making sure that former DG Isaac Moyo was fired. And indeed, he was fired. He was humiliated. And there is a likelihood that if Mangwanya is not careful, he will follow Isaac Moyo. And it can happen because we've seen it happening. And also, we have to agree on one thing, that Zimbabwe, it has become, Sodom, where anything and everything is happening, left, right, and center. Anything and everything is happening right here in the nation of Zimbabwe. So this is very, very interesting, Team Zimbabwe. And let me see if we can bring the audio, which is of importance. So because of time, I'm going to do another video where I'm going to bring the issue of Dr. Walter Muzembe. So you have to follow, you have to look for the video. I'm going to post it right here on the platform so that you get to understand what is really happening. So Zimbabwe, at this point in time, one thing I can say is we are in trouble. If something does not happen, we are in trouble as a nation. And where are we going from now? So let us hear the audio.
Hi. So I know you're probably busy right now, but just wanted to let you know that photon is really being the problem, and can you please deal with him? Because the thing is, he's trying to block issue against that assignment that you gave me, and it's frustrating me. But otherwise, about our staff, please let me know when you're free, and let it be soon, because I kind of miss you, and I visit. Bye.
So if this audio is authentic, then what you have to understand is things are not well in Zimbabwe. So something very important before we end this program is Zim-I, that is Simba, asked something very important. And he said this is the third day since the damning viral allegations were made that have resulted in a reconciliation meeting between the CIO DG and Rumbidzai Rusere today. Why are Unique Mangwana and Jamwanda silent? If this audio was AI generated as said by Rumbidzai Rusere, what was the reconciliation with the DG about? An AI clip or the truth leaked by a CIO DG sympathizer? So this is something very important. And what I can say is change will come to the nation of Zimbabwe. It won't be easy. What you have to understand is we are dealing with some structures which are so powerful, so organized, and we have to be very careful. We have to understand how everything is happening. I've seen a lot of people attacking Nelson Chamisa, and I will do some videos to explain what is really happening. And some of these things, the good thing is we knew about them before they happened. So last year, we talked about several things spiritually, physically, and whatsoever. So many things we talked about them, and they are happening as we speak right now. And the sad part is they involve some people who are men of God, and they are not supposed to be doing whatever which they are doing, but for some reasons they are choosing to do whatever which they are doing simply because they failed to control somebody. So the only way is to make sure that they tarnish his or her image so that whatever which they want happens. So they've created their own groupings, believing or hoping that those groupings will then be the next opposition. But we have to talk intensively about that later on. So this is it, Team Zimbabwe, and let us meet in other episodes and other broadcasts. Bye for now.